Right. Hello, everybody. It's me. It's the 23rd of May. But it's about the sixth time now that I've recorded this vlog because I keep forgetting to do things I record it. First time it crashed, then I didn't record it. It was all great. No one was home. It was all set up. I sat in the kitchen. I thought, yep, I'll get on with this. Anyway, hopefully this will be the right one. So yesterday I was talking about potentially getting my food diary that I have for the week, that I daily sit with daily and I use and explain a bit to you about it. So hopefully on your screen you can see a screenshot of one of my days of eating. So the app I use to track my food is MyFitnessPal, and everything goes into that, and I have my targets set as to what calories I'm going to eat today and what macronutrients I'm going to eat, so that I can track myself and I can make sure that I'm hitting them and I'm staying within them. It's a great app because I can have it on my phone. You can use it to scan foods if you're going to scan a barcode or something like that, or there's a massive database to look up. And one thing I will tell you right at the beginning is check everything that you put in it, because MyFitnessPal, as great as it is, relies on a community of people. And it relies on that community of people to actually accurately input the values into the app. And so their database is full of all this data, and sometimes it's not right, and that's happened to me before. Luckily I've tracked it, I've noticed it, and then I thought, hey, what's up here? I've got loads of, like, say for example, carbs left over today and no real calories. Why has that happened? And then I've gone back through and I've tracked through and I've realized that there's errors in the data. So that can really knock you off course, because that could mean you'd be gaining weight when you think you're cutting because you're eating too much, or it could mean that you're cutting too much and you're dropping too many calories off of what you're doing. So just to let you know, keep an eye on it. It's not all correct. Okay, so let's look at how many calories I eat a day. So as you can see at the bottom of the totals, there's my daily goal down there. It's about 1,900 calories. So how did I come to that figure of 1,900 calories? Or more likely, how did James from Get Focused come to 1,900 calories? Well, we looked at my TDEE. Now, the TDEE is what is known as your total daily energy expenditure. So basically all that is how many calories do I burn in a day? And that's worked out. You can go online, Google it, you get a website up, you'll see a TDEE calculator, and that'll tell you things like, that won't tell you anything until you put something in it, but what it will ask you is questions like, what do you weigh? What's your height? And if you know your body fat percentage, what's your body fat percentage? Don't have to have it, but it will ask you that if you know it. And then it'll ask you things like, do you sit on your arse all day? So what sort of job have you got? Is it like sort of a job like myself, where I'm in an office and I sit in an office all day? Or do you have more of an active job? And it'll also ask you a question, say, for example, what's your activity level? Do you go to the gym 5 days a week, or do you only go to the gym, say, 2 days a week? And from that, it will do a calculation, and it will give you a rough calculation of what your TDEE is, but it will be generally near enough to the mark. So that TDEE will be a calorie count, and we take that calorie count and then we decide we're going to cut it. So for example, mine was I think it was about 2,200 calories, and so we decided to cut it. So we've cut it by about 300, but you don't want to cut too far, because what you'll end up doing, you'll find your body will go into what's called starvation mode. Now, if your body goes into starvation mode, it does a great thing around surviving. And when it goes to survive, it will say, hang on a minute, I'm going to slow down my metabolism. And it will say, I want to store fat. So what your body would like to do first is burn muscle, not fat. I want to keep as much muscle during my cutting process as much as possible. So I need to be in a deficit of calories to my TDEE, because I've got to put in less than what I burn. Pretty simple, to be honest, guys. Doesn't matter. As long as you eat less calories than what you're burning, you will lose weight. And as long as you don't go too far into a calorie deficit, you won't go into starvation mode, and you won't burn lots of muscle. You'll lose fat. Obviously, in a cutting sort of situation, you will lose some muscle. It's not going to happen unless you're on drugs of some sort. You're going to lose muscle. Now, next thing, what sort of carbs, fat, and protein do I need to do? So how did I come to the values of how many grams they are? Well, that all depends on what type of diet you want to be on. So some people do low carb diets, some people do high carb diets, some people do low fat diets, some people do high fat diets. So let's go a bit over the history of where I started off. So I started off on a high carb, high protein, low fat diet. I wanted to see how that went for me, thought it would give me lots of energy. It actually didn't really work for me that well. I ended up feeling tired. I did cut a lot of carbs though. That is the other thing. I will caveat that. I cut lots of carbs, probably too much, because I was trying to get down I was basically trying to rush my cut because I wanted to get learn quicker. But what I basically did was end up putting myself into body starvation mode. I went to see James, and James was like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing, Dan, you crazy person? Let's change this up for you." So what he said is try a high fat diet. So now I'm on a high fat, high protein, lower carb. So I get around about 40% of my daily calories from protein. I get around the same from the fat, and the rest is out of my carbohydrate. Now that's working for me really well. I'm losing weight steadily. And that's really where you want to go. You don't want to see a massive drastic reduction in weight. You want to do it. So I weigh myself every morning, same time, and I get up just before I hit the gym at 5 a.m. I'll get out of bed about 4:45. I'll go and weigh myself and then work out. And then what I do is I take that and I average it over every week, and I watch my weight slowly come down till I can see a plateau. When I see a plateau, then I know that I need to do something like cut more calories. But until I see that, I will carry on eating what I'm doing. So I've been on this for about 5 weeks, and I'm slowly losing weight. So my average weight is slowly coming down, and hopefully with that, my body fat. Well, how do I tell that? I look in the mirror, I can see that my body shape's changing, I can see more definition around my muscles. I'm still strong in the gym. Some of my lifts have gone up. So that's great. That shows my diet's good. My sleep is good. I'm sleeping really well. I don't feel tired. That's a really good thing as well. I feel hungry. That's a different thing. But that's because I'm cutting, and that comes with the territory. Now, how do you then fill your diet with lots of food in order to not feel hungry? Because I don't want to feel hungry. I hate feeling hungry. Well, there's one thing. I could go off and I could eat burgers. I could eat kebabs. I could go and eat at McDonald's, and they're all my macros, which is one of the things. It's one of those things people call it if it fits within my macro. So if it fits within your macro, you eat it, and all you care about is that you meet your macros at the end of the day. Well, that's great. You'll still lose weight, but not necessarily the healthiest option, to be honest with you. What we want to do is we want to fill our food. We want to fill our diets with lots of food that is like fruit and vegetables and fish and chicken and rice. And I've got avocado and I've got almonds, so I'm getting fat from nuts. Because in these foods, there's something what I call micronutrients. Now, micronutrients are all those vitamins and great stuff that our body needs to survive and be very lovely and healthy. So it's holistic care. I don't care. I'm not worried about just losing weight. I want to stay healthy as well at the same time. So I train up to do that. So that is what we would tend to call clean dieting, yeah, rather than, you might have heard people talk about dirty bulking, where you eat lots of stuff just to bulk up, rather than clean bulking. But what that does is eating lots of fruit and vegetables gives me lots of volumes of food, because fruit and veg, you can eat a lot of it. It's got a low calorie value, and therefore you feel fuller, you get more fiber in your diet, yeah, and that's going to make you feel full. Protein also makes you feel full as well. That's another thing. So it's a bit of a myth when people talk about, always eat loads of carbs, going to make you feel full. I avoid carbs in the morning first thing because it will spike my blood sugar level and it'll make me feel hungry very quickly in the morning. So I tend to just stay with a protein base in the morning, and then I build my carbs up at lunchtime, and I try and get my carbs all done by pretty much tea time. I've got a small amount of carb, which is my avocado, but I've got my carbs done by the afternoon. You can also plan all of that around your workouts. And really, to be honest with you, I don't eat like meal timing. I basically just eat my macros in a day, and I do it more around when I feel hungry. So I just tend to eat if I'm, if I don't want to eat in the morning, then you don't have to eat in the morning. As long as you eat your macros in the day that you need to eat, that's all that really matters, to be honest. So what's the difference about different types of food? So we've got different types of food. So again, I was talking about like McDonald's eating bread and in a burger and say things like that. And you often hear people say, don't eat bread, bread's evil. So the reason why people talk about things like that, and it's all to do with carbohydrates and where they sit on the GI scale. Now the GI scale, I'll do another blog about this, but the GI scale is basically called the glycemic index. And it came about because diabetes, really. And it's all about how quickly your body breaks down those starchy carbs, that starch, and turns it into glucose in your body, so it's and spikes your blood sugar levels. And what you'll tend to find is higher things on the glycemic index. That's going to happen quicker to you. And there'll be things like sugar comes into that, processed foods, basically. There's a lot of that as well, like bread and cereals and things like that. And then down the bottom end of it, you're going to get things like all your vegetables, etc. So what I try to do, I try to base my diet on the lower side of the scale, glycemic index. So I will probably try and eat things that, what I do is things that are lower than 60, say, in the glycemic index. So 100 is the highest. That's going to be your sugar and syrup and things like that. And then down the bottom to your fruit and veg, things like that. So that's what I try and do. That's just a choice. You don't have to do that. That's a personal choice, but that's what I do. So today, what did I do? God, got up 5 o'clock this morning, hit the gym, did my light steady state cardio and everything like that. Could be repeating myself right now. I never know, because I've recorded this so many times. I don't know what I've told you or what I haven't told you already. But I got up and I did that. I haven't done anything else. I've not done any cardio yet this evening. I'm still in my work gear, but I'm probably not going to do any. I've done 3 cardio sessions already this week. It's only Tuesday evening. So I'll probably have a soak in the bath and have a bit of a relax, and then I'm going to have my tea. Probably not chicken tonight. Something different just to make a change. And now I'm preparing as well for next week, because I'm on my deload week this week. But next week I'm changing up my workouts. So next week I go into my next phase, and that's going to last for another 4 weeks. And so people refer to these like mesocycles, but I'm going into another phase of my training. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up my workouts so that I'm working out different exercises. And you will hear like about muscle confusion. People talk about muscle confusion, using different exercises because your body gets used to and can adapt to muscles. Some people say it's a load of rubbish. Some people say it's really there. Me, I just get bored doing the same exercises all the time. So I want to change up my exercises, do different exercises. So as part of that, I've got barbell rows are coming on my next cycle, and I've bought myself a barbell row attachment for my Olympic bar, which I'm sadly very excited about, and it should be coming this week. So when it does, I'll show you it. I'll show you how it attaches to my bar and have a go. Just not that people out there are probably that interested, but it's something that I find quite exciting. Anyway, feeling good. Liking the look in the mirror, liking the way I feel. I need to get my body fat checked again, so I'm going to tap up James at Get Focused to see if I can get on his body fat machine so that we can see where I am now. But there's light at the end of that tunnel, and I'm looking forward to getting down to my cut. And I'm going to talk to you on another blog about why I'm cutting, because I haven't actually spoken as to why I'm doing it, because I'm crazy and I like starving myself. I don't know. But that isn't the reason. But I will go into that in another video. So it's bye for now, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow and tell you how I got on tomorrow.